Hello, everyone, and good evening. Welcome to an ITSL game between J.R. Jones and Chris Gentry, or perhaps Gentry. And I am joined today, this evening, by Max Goldman. Max, how the heck are you?
I'm pretty good. How are you doing today, Justin?
Well, I'm hanging out in the sewer after my latest loss, but otherwise doing fine. And here we are.
I thought you I thought you won your last game.
I won a couple games in RTSL. I won a couple RTSL games, but just lost to BH. So I'm 2-1 now in RTSL.
Uh, well, it doesn't matter. It's not a real league anyway, so it's not the end of the world.
Sure, of course not.
Wayne would
Anyway,
be so mad if he heard that.
oh yes, he would, but we're not going to let him hear. I'm sure he's. No, he's awake. He could be watching. Who knows? Anyway,
Oh,
we're
sorry
going to be
about
watching
that,
from
Wayne.
JR's side tonight. He's the USSR. He's got an excellent hand here. He's got 3 4-ups. He's got UN Marshall. He's got D-Stall. He's got Defectors. Oh, man. How are you attacking this board, Max?
I'm like almost on. I guess you just headline purge, right?
Yeah,
Right.
this to
It's just
me.
kind of annoying because it's a weird hand where like you don't necessarily want to be driving the DEFCON down with this hand, but you don't have a choice because you're going to UN Marshall.
Yeah, you want to you have to UN Marshalls, so that means you've got to get D-Stall off on turn one, which is a little bit weak, or play China, which he's probably not excited to do, especially after that headline.
If you had duck and cover, would you just headline D-stall?
Yeah,
But
that's
we don't
not
have duck and
crazy.
cover, so it doesn't matter.
All
Oh,
right.
Jared went to rowing school. He went to
JR gets roll 5 on the opener. Puts a nice.
the Scott Sennen ITSL season 12 school of learning how to roll really, really, really good.
Yeah, yeah, they teach it there.
That's where you go if you need to learn.
And I could use a lesson or two there myself after my latest game.
I mean, it only works if you're half decent when you go to the rowing school, so it's not going to help you
It's
very
not going to help
much.
you if you're terrible. Only going to take you from half
Yeah,
decent to
so
elite.
so like your rating has to be at least, I don't know, I'm gonna say 50, and someone's sitting at 77 right now. So,
Yeah.
you're
All
not
right.
even 6,000. Come on, Justin.
Well, let's look at what happened here. Chris went with a 4-op, went Lebanon, which makes sense. Get presence in the Middle East, and then went to France. This suggests to me pretty strongly that he has the scoring. Doesn't it suggest that to you, Max? Because to France doesn't seem like
Um,
the biggest priority here, unless you have the scoring and are gonna try and get a dom off while purged.
yeah, I would say that. I mean, what else are you gonna do? Like Malaysia?
Yeah, I mean
Like
you could go 1 Lebanon, two
France is.
Egypt. Yeah, Malaysia. Um,
I mean, France is always good to have by the end of turn one way or another. So
Yep, and JR does not have a hand to contest that. So if Chris does get the, if Chris does have Europe scoring, he will get this Dom.
if I was JR, would you consider just poking West Germany and then maybe throwing Marshall in?
Yeah, that's okay. Well, yeah, and now with DEFCON down to 2, you're going to destall. So clearly one in Southeast Asia, I think one in Venezuela, one in Chile, and then one maybe Angola or Libya. What do you like?
I like Libya, like Angola, also like Algeria. I kind of like Libya or Algeria. It's just like you could walk to the other one, God forbid, if you needed to. I understand Angola because it's like the extra battleground, but I mean, access to France is always great with socialist and Suez on scene, right?
Yep,
So,
yep. But okay, he goes
but I mean,
Angola.
like
That's fine.
we're pulling. I feel like we're pulling at hairs there, right? Like Angola, Algeria, and Libya are all good choices.
Yes, and I feel like Thailand, Venezuela, and Chile were no brainers. So it was just that
Exactly.
fourth
So
one.
wherever you're putting that fourth, like there's no bad option. I think with Suez and Socialist Unseen, like I don't think France will get to four this turn, which is why I kind of like Algeria.
Yeah. Okay. Going to take a Europe domination. Going to go one Malaysia. So now you fill up Thailand.
I would space that. I'm using C5 first here.
Yeah,
Like
yeah. I would also.
it's a big VP swing with the first VP with space one not hit, right? Like
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see him use defectors like that. I think C5 is what you want to use first. Now, even if you eventually want to use defectors and you want the ops, maybe delay that decision for an AR to see if you really need them. Okay, no
yeah.
surprise, Chris gets the scoring off, so he picks up 5 VPs. Even though I'd much rather have JR's board position, Chris picks up 5 VPs early.
So do you take Iraq here? I think Iraq seems pretty important.
Yes, I 100% would take Iraq. I don't think I'm too worried about a Thailand poke with Chris under purge, but yeah, I definitely want Iraq.
I
And
mean, Iraq on more Thailand and Venezuela seems very reasonable. Also, one South Korea also seems very reasonable.
yep,
Yeah, see,
yes,
that could be a that's a big VP difference if JR space defectors.
yep. So yeah, I like one Venezuela, like one Brazil. Yeah, two Iraq is fine. Now De Gaulle spaced, and Destal does not go into Algeria, so no access to France for JR. No reason that JR is going to give up the coup here,
Well,
unless of course he draws
the
CIA.
decal could still get an access to Algeria, so
Yes.
we're not it's not zero yet. I do think putting one more in Thailand, maybe over Brazil, makes sense, but again, you're probably splitting hairs there.
Okay, just a one-op
Oh,
IP
that
war.
card.
It's going to take Egypt. Ooh, going to go one Libya.
Oh,
I would have
that's a
put a
very
second
nice
one in
coup target
Egypt.
now. Oh yeah. The Nasser headline with a Libya coup.
And there it
Oof.
is. Defectors
And the
gone.
scoring.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Nasser
this is a
as your
no-brainer, right?
headline uh, every day of
And
the week
then
and
a
twice on
Formosan
Sunday.
coup.
So Nasser headline here, and then okay, well, no Libya coup,
Oh,
but you can take Libya with China if you really want to. I doubt that JR will be that greedy.
I don't know if you should do that with CIA and five-year plan unseen. But what do I know? I'll go fuck
Fourth
myself
one,
in the
South
corner.
Korea,
So
right? Well, you have the war. I guess you don't have to go South Korea just yet. Yeah, I like this better.
I I like I think just taking that is very reasonable. Like you're talking about one VP to give up China seems unnecessary.
Yep, yep. And Browning was for a
So
hot second there. Browning was up 10 VPs.
yeah,
Um, so
that could have been a lot less had JR space defectors and got that VP shot. It's what, 4 VP swing?
yeah, well, yeah, I guess
Yeah.
three. Well, Chris would have one less, and Jr. would have three more. So yeah, instead of giving one, he'd have two. So yeah, you're right.
Two. Yeah.
Now
That's
we
a
will
lot
go
of
back to Brown.
VPs
Go
on a
back
board
to
that did
go
need
back to
defectors.
Chris's move. He went one Libya. If he had gone a second in Egypt, then Jr. probably spends Fidel in Libya, and he gets Libya. So Chris's move worked out okay for him in this
Maybe he
case.
was holding duck and cover and he knew. He
Yeah,
knew something we didn't, right? Little
perhaps.
5D chess
Although if
action.
I think I would have held IP War to get my Millops over Duck, but that is certainly possible.
I mean, Duck's 3 VP, the Millups is only 2,
It's true.
hypothetically.
Um, now JR with a
So
decision here. He's got so IP War is gone. JR has Korean War in his hand. Are you gonna take South Korea and event the war? Cannot imagine that Chris
I,
would be willing to give AI war here. You need your Millops, don't you?
yeah, I think you have to get Korea at least till 3. 1. You're going to think about eventing the war for Millups. Yeah, I think that's very reasonable,
Yep.
right? Like just burn Truman, no rush.
Yeah, get to work on it.
What do you hold here, though? It's very awkward because you almost surely needed to play those containment opposite on AR6.
Yeah. So I guess you're gonna put. I get maybe you hold Fidel and just plan to event it. AR3 Formosan's not going to be
Turn
a big
3.
deal here.
Yeah, honestly, maybe Fidel is the right choice as your hold. Like, it's not something you don't want to play for ops and put it back in the deck. You either want
Yeah,
to event it now or event it next turn. So That seems pretty reasonable, actually. Now, the big
Suez.
question is, does Chris have AI war and have to give JR mill ups? Oh, no, 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 no. Play Formosan first.
I think
Yeah,
Formosan first is
just
fine. Yeah, I would consider holding Fidel.
I, like I don't hate Brazil, but
It's
if
not.
you're gonna
I
give up
South Korea
Korean,
is more important. If you're going to event the war, South Korea is more important.
if you're not gonna invent the award, this is a very good line of
Yeah.
play. And maybe you don't need the two VP on mill ups. Like maybe protecting Angola from a flood, maybe filling South America makes more sense. I don't.
Man, I want the. If I'm
I'm
JR,
greedy.
I
I'd want
want
to invent
these
the award.
VPs. I'm down five. You hit that war, it's four VPs. You miss the war, it's still two.
Yeah.
I think I'd give up the war, but we'll see what he wants to do here.
I have an inkling JR is going to be playing Fidel for ops.
Yeah, yeah. Looks like he wants to put. He's thinking about it.
That's good.
Yeah,
Good.
that's a good play
Something
too.
you had to do. That's a very reasonable play. Um,
So ideally here, if you were JR, you could play Korean War first, see if you win the war, and then containment AR6. But now JR's got a decision to
yeah.
make. Because if you play the war and you don't win, South Korea could get jammed on you.
Well, what
But
fours are left? We've seen Japan, we've seen NATO, we've seen Marshall, weve seen Purge, and I think we've seen
oh,
NTB,
that's right. You know
right?
what? You're right. We've seen all the fours. You are correct. Yeah, JR gonna gamble on the war, misses. Now I wonder if we'll see an ops war in South Korea.
There's not that much left though. Like SOC Govs is out there. I think EEU might be floating around. NORAD.
Yeah,
NORAD
Suez
and
was
Special are both
spaced,
out.
so I doubt that. I doubt. I think Sotgov's is a better space candidate than Suez.
Yeah,
I also
you
don't
burn
think
Suez if you can.
that Chris has decall either because of that, because he chose to do that. Okay, this
Yeah,
is yeah.
it was NORAD.
Yeah, so it just goes one into goes one Thailand and one South Korea.
Yeah, I mean, I think I would have just put all three South Korea there, but it wasn't the worst play.
Yeah, he really
By
doesn't want to
Chris.
get Thailand poked. But at the same time, how much worse is getting those two ops put into South Korea? I don't know. I think I might. It's six of one, half dozen of the other. Okay, but there's another guilt-free three op,
Oh,
and that's going to all go South Korea. Yeah. Oh, guilt-free
yeah,
four
I
op rather,
don't
of course,
know.
with containment. So now
Yeah,
Jr.
I don't know if that giving create the war there makes like without filling. Not
Yeah,
not my favorite play. I also think Chris is playing much better than a what 1486.
yeah, yeah. I have not. I disagreed with the Libya play, but it worked out for him. Other than that, we've
Yeah.
got a lot of reasonable stuff going on here. Now, I think I would have liked to see. Now, JR counting up cards. He does not get CIA. Although, no, wait, CIA was played.
Oh, yeah, it was played.
And there's
Oh, but that
Europe with
sucked
5 year plan.
us.
So very happy to see that.
Oh yeah, you could
Europe
don't
with
even
5 year plan. Now, what I was going to say is, I would have liked to see Chris go 3 South Korea and 1 Indonesia to stop Dom, rather than all 4 South Korea. Doesn't matter because JR did not draw Asia, but I would have liked to see him stop Dom
so
there.
Fidel or Nazis. I think Fidel. But I could also understand wanting to do Fidel later in the turn with JR's luck to being
Yeah,
realigned out.
you're definitely inventing Nazis. You're definitely inventing Fidel. So I think Nazis first is fine. Nazis also is less painful to have defectored. So I'm fine with
Oh, that's
this.
very true. Actually, I didn't consider defectors redraw. Salt Gov's coup Panama seems like the plan here.
Yeah, I don't think we need to be greedy and
Oh,
go for Libya. Oh, yeah, I guess you're yeah, you would go NATO, of course, because that is not active.
I don't agree with that. I think Oh, yeah, I guess with
You,
Warsaw, but you also just saw special. I don't know, like the extra op to fill South America might be important.
yeah, the extra one up can be important, but also like I want to leave the option of Brush War Italy open. Okay, and
True,
there
and
goes wow, and
Warsaw.
yeah, so Jr. So we talked about it, Max. Jr. just lost South Korea because he gambled on the war. So we'll see if we'll see how that affects Asia. Now,
You,
the good news for Jr. is he's going to be well ahead in battlegrounds anyway. It would appear, unless
yeah,
we see a certain card right now.
the I, IP war. My heart couldn't handle IP war here. Use space to prevent double space for sure. Do you think you had to overprotect North Korea there?
No, I mean, I don't know. It doesn't seem that important. I think getting now JR's ops. JR obviously has a China card, but he can't use it this turn. Other than that, he has one op until AR6 because couldn't have played Duck. So yeah, I didn't mind it, but yeah, the rest of these ops have to go to South America. Of course, Fidel will be played for the event. Um, I think Blockade can be a one op here. Keep
In
that in the deck for the
Brazil.
late
So
war. Maybe have a nasty
yeah.
surprise.
So would you prefer to build more of southern half of South America or get Venezuela to three? That's always my big question, right? Like getting VO8 out at 2-2 out of the top half of South America is devastating, as well as like a Panama Canal headline is just absolutely painful with Panama
My
and
thought on this
Venezuela
is
too.
a turn with this board. A turn four VOA headline is going to be devastating, regardless of what's in the top half of South America. So I would generally leave Venezuela at two. You know, you can let Venezuela and Brazil go to 2-2. Get one into Argentina. Frankly,
Yeah.
I also I think you've got to get one into India as well. An IP war complete is a complete disaster for you with things like this. But you only
And it
have four
stops
ops
a
to do it.
puppet directly. And it stops puppet going directly in, right?
Yep,
Which
that's
is
true
why
too.
I definitely agree at least one Argentina. It creates an ABM target, but that's fine. I think there's an ABM target on the entire board, right?
Yes. Interesting. Breaks Lao, but doesn't flip it.
Just trying to walk, just trying
Breaks
to walk towards
Lao.
India, which is honestly a 5-year plan and blockade are known, right? So he knows that JR might be low on ops, and maybe he's saying, "Hey, I'm going to threaten India instead of you filling up South America."
Yeah. JR. Okay.
Hey, why? Oh, he's on his phone. He wanted to put that into Lao, but he misclicked
Yeah.
Vietnam.
If I were, I don't mind this play.
Yeah,
Oh, there
the
you
zoom
go.
in. I
There you
love
go,
the zoom
JR.
in.
I don't mind the play from
I
Chris,
don't.
but I would rather just flip
Yeah,
Lao. There's got to be an op available to take Mexico. And Lao is going to be, is looking like at least, it's going to be an important country for determining Asia Dom moving forward. But
I would
okay,
agree. But
here we are. Going to be
if Chris can
AR6.
pull
We've got
off
to see,
India,
I think, for JR, at least one India, at least one Argentina, and then what? Brazil? What else do you like?
I I'm torn right now. I'm almost wondering if three Argentina makes more sense to guarantee Asia Dom.
Three Argent.
Like at this point, what's the difference between two in Venezuela and two
Sorry,
in Brazil or
three
two
India,
Venezuela?
you mean?
Or at least two. I feel like India is honestly very important right now. Like if Chris picks up India, he just has to fill Taiwan or Japan, and he's actually ahead in Asia,
Yep. Okay, and there's a De Gaulle redraw.
right? Like
We'll see one Burma here, and he's going to
I don't
overprotect.
understand the I don't
That doesn't make sense to
and
me.
that's the four but that's the 1486 kicking in, right? That those are the type of things where if he played those ops maybe into Taiwan or
Indonesia and
Indonesia or even
Philippines.
Tuberg,
That stops Dom.
yeah,
Even
like
one of Indonesia and Philippines stops Dom.
but that's the difference of trying to get to like 1550, 16, and 1486, right? So
Yeah.
um you can't be too critical, and hopefully he watches this and it's a bit of a learning experience because I would say for 1486, he has a lot of potential here. Like he has a lot of potential to skyrocket to above 1600.
I agree. I agree. Chris playing pretty well here in the early war. Now, JR leaves India completely open. Two ops won't be enough to take it. Um,
But you gotta dump those
you got
two
to take
in,
it. Yeah,
right?
he
Yeah, there
puts
we
both
go.
in India. Doesn't stop. Could have stopped Dom by taking Burma and Indonesia. Instead, puts two in India, which I think is fine. You hope that JR is not going to draw our headline in the scoring. Max, here's some garbage.
Here's some garbage, but I'm way happier getting this hand than Chris getting this hand right now.
That's true. Yeah, Camp
Like
David's annoying.
one,
Sadat is annoying. Um,
I mean,
VOA
you could
obviously
space
spaceable.
VOA
Happy to
whole,
see that. OPEC is nice for
yeah.
4, and you hope
I
at
mean,
this
you
point
don't
you
have a
hope
lot
you
of
can get
ops
Africa
to
off for
fill,
even.
but yeah, you headline IP war for sure.
Oh, well,
Oh,
Max,
and
you
there's the
called it.
canal,
There's Panama Canal.
and Venezuela's at 3.
Yep. So you called
Oh,
it. Getting it to
wait,
3 is
is that a
important.
card allowed to wait, is that card allowed to do that?
I think JR rolled less than a 4. So yes,
Uh,
a full
I
strength IP war
I would
missing. Mark it down, Max. 9:21 Eastern time here on October 17th,
I
2023.
I didn't even know that card's allowed to do that. Oh, there's the 6. Oh,
Yes,
sorry.
it was hiding.
That was an
Okay, Max, if you're
unnecessary
Chris, what are you doing
6.
here? Are you taking India here and stopping Asia Dom? Or are you spacing?
Taking India. I I think and with that IP war headline, you don't know. Like if I'm Chris, you just know that you don't know how shit headlines JR has, but you know he's targeting Asia, right?
Yep,
So I'm blocking that Dom and giving up the two VP because the Dom's a lot more than two, right?
for sure. Yeah, I think India, Burma, or India, Indonesia, or all three.
Yeah, that's a great play by Chris. And
Now you
right now with
space.
Formosan in effect, yeah, I think with Formosan in effect, Chris could be ahead here in Asia.
Yeah, he's got to fill Japan and Taiwan. That's 6 ops he's got to spend.
You need the ops. You need the ops, but you could be ahead in
Oh,
Asia.
I don't understand
I like
this.
this. What? No, I
Space.
oh over space. Oh yeah, okay. Space. I agree. Space should happen first, but that should be the second thing they do,
Yes,
basically.
I definitely want to get rid of that. CRG obviously a problem. I think although CRG I think probably a better headline than Panama. Yeah, JR
I mean,
filled up
Panama's not a
for
bad
Chile and then
headline.
canceled it, so he's exiting out. Scoring Africa is fine, but I really would have wanted a space there. It's obviously 4 VP
So do you
swing.
give up Sadat or Camp David here? Like you're holding one of those. I would almost if you could put an op into Israel and put Sadat back into Egypt, I would hold Camp David, I think.
Yeah, I would do the same. And now we criticized Chris for putting a third in Libya. I still don't think it was the right move, but a poke of Libya before Sadat is played is also not bad. And now that play really doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Um,
I do agree with that. It's just kind of like prep with Muslim, get adjacency back to Egypt.
because you
So
definitely want that adjacency. I like using
yeah,
U2 or Gunman to get one into Israel, trigger Sadat first, then I'd hold Camp David. Okay, and here comes a space shot. Well, JR does not
and
pay.
JR's just being like, look at me, I'm so good. I'm getting the space op VP. When in fact, that's not what's happening at all. JR, you are bad.
Okay, yeah, getting your
I
4
think
VP is
OPEC's
fine.
good. OPEC's not getting better.
No,
And I almost sure he does not have South America scoring.
yes, we would have seen that by now.
You got time. And Chris had no way to get mill ups.
That is correct.
Now, I guess the big question is what comes out first? This America scorings with JR in control, or like post a brush junta ABM salt missile NV grain sales, and those regions maybe being even without a domination on the board.
Yep. And we also we said we didn't love the Angola play, but it worked out great for JR. Because if he did not put that D-stall up into Angola, Africa would have looked really, really ugly for him.
That is true. Well, I mean, yeah, whether it was Angola or Algeria, but hindsight, you can't say, "Oh, I made the right play because play deck rewarded my play."
Yes. Yes. Play deck
Play deck
rewarded JR for
giveth,
getting into Southern Africa.
yeah. Play deck giveth and play deck taketh.
Oh, and here we go.
Panama,
Argentina,
Panama.
Panama. Just gonna go
Ooh,
Argentina. Hit the
uh,
roll.
not bad. I think I would have went with Panama because that seems like a harder country to flip at the moment.
Yeah.
But
Getting a foothold in South
I
America is
do
important.
understand is very important. Um, I I understand JR going to Uruguay there. That's reasonable. Making sure you get Dom. Um, Chris goes into Paraguay. I'd assume here. If Although if I'm JR, I'm not very stoked about holding two of these cards.
Yeah, you're clearly spacing voice and holding Sadat and Camp David here. JR probably going to try and weasel out a Middle East scoring. Hope it comes next turn before he's got to play Sadat.
There's nothing. No one likes stacking your hand with blue going into the next turn when
Yeah,
you're
unless it's turn
USR.
7.
Yeah.
And we're very far
Uh,
away from that.
you get a hand with 6 or 7 blue cards in it turn 4, turn 5, and the amount of board you can lose is just striking, right? Like
Yeah.
you could be sitting pretty and then suddenly shit goes terrible.
Yep. Also, JR has one op here, and that op must go into Pakistan. Because if Pakistan gets
You
flipped,
think
that's
JR
Asia
remembers?
Dom. That's Asia Dom for Chris. JR misses his space shot as well.
So those VP back on the board.
Yep. Coming back for turn 5. And yeah, this gunman op has got to go into Pakistan. The other two Asian battlegrounds are overprotected, but Chris now with the China card, and let's hope JR sees it.
Would you have rushed Argentina there?
Man, I would have gone maybe Venezuela or Brazil, something with more
Oh,
than
you would have
two
gone for the top
influence.
half.
Yeah, no, I only because I really like getting a fourth getting something to 4-0 instead of 2. Like it just makes it really hard to remove you.
That's fair.
But Panama also a very reasonable choice. Pakistan,
Oh, he misses it. He misses the Pakistan
JR.
flip.
Okay, well we'll see if that costs him.
Here.
But I
Well,
think
maybe
that's a
he
mistake.
redraws cultural for a headline.
Yep.
I think that, and you know what? I want to say JR bad, and we all know he is, but I feel like that's the type of mistake you make when you play on your phone,
Yeah.
right? Like you're not looking at the board the same way you usually are. I feel like that's a error that comes from playing on your phone.
Yep. Okay. Well, wouldn't have helped
Oh,
anyway. Yeah.
that
Yep.
is painful.
Okay. So
Great play
it
by
wouldn't have been
Chris.
that big a deal anyway. But now you have a big problem, and now even a 4 op, which JR has one of, even a 4 op is not going to be able to take them both out of China range. And JR gets the scoring, but he also gets culture. Isn't cultural your headline here?
With Nixon, you're saying I am going to play China, which maybe you are going to play China and you just retake those countries, and then play Nixon. Oh,
Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm
maybe
sorry.
JR's smarter than us. Who
Yep.
knows?
I didn't see Nixon, but still, man, you can't because you have to protect.
Oh, I don't know if I like. that with Japan though,
Yeah, you have
right?
to take back both countries.
That's
But now
no,
I
that's
just
that's a mistake, right?
well, you don't have another choice. You don't even have a three op. Your only three op is cultural, and you want to use that to take China.
I mean, you have to overprotect Thailand because of Southeast Asia. It's too many VP.
Yeah,
But
and
now
now
it's just
you're yeah
Taiwan or a flip.
you're
Maybe
getting
you're playing that Chris will take the coup.
yeah you're hoping that Chris has
If
South
it's me,
America and tries the coup.
I'm giving up the coup. I'm giving up the coup 100% and flipping Pakistan
Yeah,
if I'm
IP war's
Chris.
gone.
But
Bush is gone. You 100% are flipping Pakistan here.
instead of cooing a two stab like Venezuela, like 100% I'm going for it. It's
Yeah,
just so many VP if you flip that right here, right?
yeah. And you know what? If JR
Let's
had
talk
put that
about the
extra op
blue.
in Pakistan, he would have been able to overprotect both.
Yeah, and then I mean you can still fill Taiwan, but I feel like Taiwan's filling's not something that's always on your radar here. You have more pressing things to do, right?
Well, no, because well, I mean,
As
he's
Chris,
gonna play the China card here. So Taiwan is no longer a thing.
if he plays the China,
But I suppose you're saying that if JR had overprotected, then Chris would have
yeah,
held on to the
then
China card and
China
filled
card,
Taiwan. Yep.
and
But I think he would have cooed, and then JR
but
could have dropped the scoring. Yep. And there it is.
I think so also, and Chris with some good heads up play, like 100%. Like this guy, there is some serious potential. Maybe he
No, no,
went
no,
to
no,
the
no. I don't
Scott
like this at
Sennett
all.
school.
No, 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 no. You
No,
play
no,
Nixon.
no.
You coup with
Yeah,
Nixon, and then you event cultural.
you get back face up. And now you're stuck with a lot of crap here to deal with, right? Because you
Yeah, and
just
now you have to
made a
space
problem to
Nixon,
fix it.
and oh, Jr. I don't like that play at all. I let you
And
give
you,
Nixon for free. It's free
yeah.
because you know you're going to take, and then both bad U.S. China card events are gone forever. You have the China card the rest of the game.
So what are your space and hold here? I don't think I'm giving up Omid here. Like to me, that's basically a non-starter.
So you're going to give up Camp David because you can't give up you're not going to give up Nixon either. Oh, this is going to be
I like Omid hitting, I guess, man, maybe Middle East. Maybe Omid actually only hits. Well, I'm not like Omid hit in America scoring right now, right?
yeah.
Like that seems really bad. Man, JR still not getting burned for the space thing.
Yeah, I mean, JR
I
took the coup,
I think
which is fine. Taking the coup is more
yeah,
important than space. I have no problem with
that's
that.
true.
Even though he missed on the coup and he used the wrong card to coup, was still the right play.
So if he plays into Israel, I think he's planning on giving up Camp David.
Yeah. So you can hold. So Omid is a potential hold candidate, I guess. Nixon, I think, is your space card. Yeah, there. Okay, there you go. So Jr. gets the space VP. Oh, this is going to be a painful domination for Jr. to have to give up.
Yeah, that's what 6.
Yeah, that's going to be 6.
Yeah, me 6.
Oh man,
Jared also has to think about when he plays into Haiti, Nicaragua, because that those are the mill ops that Chris is looking for, right? Like
well, no,
Uruguay,
Uruguay's
not the
around.
best coup. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's not the best coup, is what I'm saying, right? Like
no, no,
Haiti,
you'd much rather
Nicaragua,
coup
start
Nicaragua or
pressuring.
Haiti. Okay, maybe
Interesting.
JR can steal a couple of VPs here. Just needs a 5. Doesn't get the roll.
I feel like AI war does not hit nearly as much as IP war. Like
No.
if one if one war is not going to hit, it's probably AI war. That we all know
Yeah,
about Korean war
uh,
in this
of course. And your first
broadcast.
game against me, you rolled 3 6s on AI War.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you still massacred me,
Yes, because
but
you
the
didn't get any
three
access
AI
anywhere
wars,
at any time. But you
yeah,
did win 3 AI
but
Wars.
three AI wars. Oh wow,
Okay, so
They're
Chris sneaks
kicking
in
himself.
the
They're kicking himself for
yeah.
not moving to Haiti, Nicaragua.
So I guess
So
ugh,
what do you give up here?
Sadat
Sadat
first
play back
and you go
in.
back into Egypt. Although no, you can't do that because that doesn't give you Dom. That you lose Dom.
You can't give Omid here, can you?
No, oh man. With Central gone, maybe. And but I
Hey,
guess the you maybe you can because it's just South America at this point. If you give Sadat and Camp David, if you give both of those, then you're not
Middle
getting
East
Dom in
is
the Middle
even.
East. Middle East is not even a thing. This board has
But
turned,
with Muslim, yeah. Oh man.
and you've got to
I'm
get
just
one
like
back into
I'm
Egypt.
oh, Chris remembers to overprotect Pakistan?
Yep. Oh no, you don't no. You
No.
don't give
So
Camp before
that's the
Sadat.
only thing I don't that's the only thing I don't
No, I
agree
hate
with.
this. No.
I
This
hate
has to be
that.
Sadat first.
If you're going to give Sadat, you have to give it first and play back in because of Muslim ref.
Yep.
Right?
No.
Like,
This is better.
yeah. If this is the line of play that you want, which I think is a reasonable line of play here if you don't want to give up Omit, um, that was the right choice.
Yep. I think that's the right play.
Good JR.
And
Good
If Chris
JR.
has
Good boy.
Muslim revolution, if Chris has not Muslim, excuse me, if Chris has Middle East scoring and was waiting for that, then hats off to him.
Yeah. Oh, has to give up SAU. I mean, I
This
don't
could be a
think that's
Botswana
something
coup
that
here. But he'll just take
yeah,
Egypt. What am I saying? He's just going to take Egypt.
you gotta take Egypt here. Yeah.
Sorry, yes, he wants his mill
And
offs,
then
but he's just
coup
going to take
or
Egypt.
seven. Yeah, you coup or seven. So assuming JR gets the Willy, do you think JR uses his Willy for ops to really get it in onto places on the board? Or do you think JR uses his Willy to like really get into West Germany? What's your opinion on the Willy, Justin? I can't quite
Max,
hear you.
this is just not something I normally consider spend a lot of airtime talking about. But obviously,
You don't talk about JR's
you want to
play of his
you
Willy?
want to use it to backdoor your way into West Germany. I think
Oh,
is what you're looking for.
definitely if you could go for the back door into West Germany, that's definitely not the front door into West Germany
Yeah.
when you're not in France. It's out of the question, right?
MRPLS. I think that stands for Muslim Revolution. Please, I'm not up with the parlance of
Right?
these young
With
whippersnappers
the
nowadays,
young
but I believe
kids,
that's what he's saying.
yeah, that seems like a Gen Z thing.
Yes, yes. So okay, Middle East is even. JR at this point, yeah, he's ahead in Battleground Central America. Obviously, head in South America, that's unscored. We have not seen ABM, have not seen Junta. Junta could flip South
Junta,
America to JR's control, or it could flip it to even. And of course,
Junta's
ABM
also
threatens to make a big splash as well.
Junta could
Europe,
also be used to go to Peru and realign Chile. Like Junta is very versatile on
yep,
this board.
yeah, a mid turn Junta.
Oh, OAS. So gives up
This
no
should
ops
be
again. But
both
you
Venezuela
go 1-1. No, you go
1-1.
1-1,
No, I
right?
don't like that play.
1-1. Again, 1486. That's oh, this is some hot garbage.
Oh man, more garbage for Jr. Nothing. So he gets arms race is his only card above a 2. Um, yeah, getting rid of Middle East.
Don't run into ABM. Oh, runs into Crane. You're gonna return that. And I think you just poke for Dom, right? Or are you taking the coup? I'm poking for Dom. I'm taking 3 VP.
You're gonna poke for the Dom and give up a coup, man. I think I'd take. Man, see, I'd take a one-up coup as Zaire
No,
here.
because no. With, with Venezuela empty,
Oh
you
no,
definitely take
no,
the
you're right. You're right. You give up the coup. You're right. Sorry, I hadn't
yeah,
been thinking of that play. Yes, you give up the coup. Oh, but okay, he rolls a 4 on the one-up coup. If he had returned it, he would have flipped over Venezuela.
but yeah, I mean,
No,
I'm
Max, you're right.
with
I'm wrong.
CIA
You're right.
CIA's in the deck or out of the deck? Did JR burn CIA? No, it was played for
CIA
one
is
off,
definitely
right?
not removed. It might be in the discard.
It's no, I don't think it's in the discard then. I don't think it was play turn 3, it was play turn 2.
Okay.
Okay, I
So
can
Browning probably
understand the
thinking about
choice.
CIA there.
Yeah, so I can understand doing that, but I don't think you go with Venezuela. I think you take the coup on Zaire for sure, or Angola even. Hope you get a 4-5-6 type thing, protect South Africa.
Yep.
I understand playing for regions that are unscored, but I think if you're going to take a one-up coup, go for board position long term. I still think you poke
Yep.
100%, take your 3
And
VP.
this looks and this
Um,
looks like a game that's going to get to final. So
yeah,
you know,
board position's
you know,
important.
scored lives matter, as it were. Um, and you know, flipping over
Oh
Zaire
dear
with that
God,
four would have been big for sure.
what is this?
Big four-op coup of a non-battleground gets it to go. Okay, that says he has the scoring. So JR's got to take Colombia here. Yep, I like this.
Like that play, JR is low on things that he can do. He basically has an off to take Nigeria, and that's about it right now.
Yep. Now, our man at
Um,
this point on turn six, you're going to give it. Um, I don't. Warsaw's
without
gone. I
seeing
don't think
Muslim Rev, without seeing Muslim Rev, I,
this has got to be Colombia. Yep. And now
yeah,
JR is not going to score this Dom.
no,
He will not score this Dom.
he's probably never going to score this Dom on country count. I do not give up the Pope on
No,
this
no, no.
board. That
I'm
is
spacing the Pope.
no, I'm spacing the Pope. Your Europe is way too weak to give up.
You're going to coup
No,
Paraguay? You need a
I guess
six
you
to
need
flip over
mill ops.
Paraguay. Even because
You
breaking it's
need
not
mill
enough. You have
ops.
to
No,
flip.
just take Nigeria. Just take Nigeria. No, no. What are you doing? You forked it to take Nigeria.
Yes, this is the
There you
play.
go.
Yep.
Dear God.
CRG's is still around as well.
What do you have for dinner, Justin, while we wait? I need to figure out.
I had some soup. My wife made the Cajun type of soup. It's a variant of jambalaya, except with vegetables that I like. And instead of celery and onions, put like some carrots, some zucchini
Wait,
in there. It's real good.
a jambalaya or more of a jambalaya or more of a gumbo? Jambalaya is just rice. Gumbo's a soup.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Yes. Closer to gumbo as well, but it got that nice tomato base. I really like it. All right.
Oh, that sounds really good, actually.
Jr. needs his mill ops here, so he's going to coup with omit. Still hasn't spaced. Obviously spacing one of these. Nuke subs is annoying. Pope's also annoying.
Nuke subs is annoying, but like with this board, I think you could do an AR6 poke of like something in Europe. Like there's good poking targets with nuke subs.
Yeah, even just putting
I
a
think you
fifth in
hold it.
Pakistan um, forces a
Yeah.
response.
And threatening China flip. Yeah. Like that also. I don't know if I'm crazy about having not scored yet, but I understand the coup, protect Nigeria and Zaire from flips. So I get it. I
Well,
get
you
it.
know, I hate to be doom and gloom here, Max, but Africa right now is JR's only domination.
I mean,
So,
he's very far ahead. Oh wow,
wow.
that was a wow. JR's Willie gone. JR's Willie list
Yeah.
for the rest of the bar.
And there's Muslims.
And that was
Yeah, no,
like
no
real dare
critical
you,
cards
Cherry.
there, but you know, four cards that JR would
All
like to have in
things
the
you want
deck.
in the deck. That's gonna make this turn 7 probably a little extra blue. Although no Junta, no ABM, no missile, no salt.
Yeah, four of the big five not seen, so we can have an explosive turn seven either way.
We've seen for the central no CMC, I think.
No, have not seen that either.
Wow. So someone's gonna have a very easy hand to play most likely, and someone's gonna have a lot of things that are gonna be up negative.
And usually salt is not very good when it comes turn seven, but in this case, it's going to be great. Okay, there's CIA, so
That
that's going back
That's
in the
that
deck.
right back. Oh, I really don't like that. If you had CIA, you definitely don't take Summit. You definitely don't cut hand size. Oh shit, he did cut his hand size.
Yeah, he did.
You're playing nuke subs this turn. Yeah, I forgot about that. You're playing nuke subs.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
you gotta.
that
So what do you do with your new subs op? Do you like one Pakistan? Do you like one West Germany? What do you like?
I think both Pakistan, West Germany are basically your two options.
Pakistan seems to be a bigger threat because you can flip it in one AR. I think I like a fifth in Pakistan.
I
We'll
mean,
see what Chris
I,
does here.
I do also, but I mean, I've seen a lot of times myself being really bad at this, and JR is also, where West Germany goes to 4-1, and then the USSR puts a couple more ops in there, and then suddenly you're like, well, fuck, I don't know if I have the ops to fight for this.
Yeah, yeah. That definitely has happened.
I, we've seen that with I've seen that with Poland. I that happens with West Germany way too much.
Oh,
Go
there's
for
Salt,
info.
and just goes with the three ops.
That's an interesting play
Oh
to get access
boy,
without knowing subs.
very
Okay.
surprised. So that because you can Salt there for two VPs on top of getting the card back. Now you're salting, I
Yeah.
guess, for brush, but you can't salt for brush. Flower power's in effect. You don't want to salt for a
Just
US
solve
card
for
and
any
then hold it through the reshuffle.
just solve for any 4-up or VOA or
Yeah,
grain.
yeah, you don't.
It,
Yeah,
with your opponent owning all three one stabs, salting's a no-brainer, right?
yeah.
You
I
want
like
to
an
clear.
AR7. Yeah, AR7 salt for a garden variety four. Um,
Oh no, I think you do it earlier than that. But
well, I'm just saying now you could have done that to save yourself to get yourself two VPs on mill ops. But yeah, I would have done it
true.
um, mid turn too. But okay, salt goes for ops. So missile, ABM, and I believe Junta out
Oh,
there.
the
Oh
Angola
wow, and he
poke
gets
is
them
actually
all.
really no, he does not get ABM though.
Oh,
He gets
sorry, I
purge.
saw purge. I'm sorry. Yes, he does not get ABM. Sorry.
I mean, it's very possible that Chris is not having missile envy on his radar. Um, so that's fantastic.
JR also has headline peak.
The Angola play is actually a lot smarter than we think. It gives him back access to South Africa if he gets realigned out, and it forces another role onto Angola.
Yep, that's not bad. South Africa, an important country here.
That's
Also threatens
not
a flip of Angola and Zaire. Yeah, JR hoping
yeah.
that Chris doesn't headline ABM. Oh, JR, you gonna do it? Oh, Ted would headline Missile Envy here because We Will Bury You redraw. Remember, We Will Bury You was discarded with.
I I the balls to
Here it
do
is.
that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness,
This is a
folks.
hand. This is a hand that's gonna get you back into the game. The comfortable lead. You don't need to fuck around and find out.
Wow. Okay. I see. I don't. I wouldn't have the balls to do this.
I would
I
not have the balls to do it
I
either.
wouldn't have the balls to do it. But again, Browning, excuse me, Chris is, I've lost a game recently because I assumed that because my opponent didn't headline ABM that he didn't have it, and that was a wrong assumption on my part.
I do
And
remember that game.
I was burned for it.
Then you got hit.
And here we go. Hold your breath.
Defcon.
There it is. He gets
Oh,
it. He gets it. Oh, what a mistake by Chris. He knew Missile Envy was out there.
oh, that's greedy.
Oh,
Oh
and
my
he hits
god.
the roll.
My god, that was so greedy, and he gets it. Oh, oh. If I'm Chris, I'm playing to Costa Rica here. I think uh,
No, the scoring's out there. I
or
think you got to
just
play
retake
into.
West
Are
Germany.
you going to play into Bolivia?
Oh, no, he has Kennedy.
Oh, he's got Kennedy. He's got Kennedy. Okay.
He's got
Uh,
Kennedy. He's
yeah.
got Kennedy.
Okay. So it's JR's turn now, and he. So what are you gonna do here? Yeah. Yes. You remember that I didn't.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I don't I think you just go for board position in Africa. Like, South America is getting dropped. See, there you go. West Germany. It always.
Yeah, and
And this
now
is a
just
hand where you have ops to fight for this.
yeah, and Brown Chris can only respond with a 2-op.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
And again, that's Chris is a player with a play deck rating in the 1400s. If a 1700 player had a known ABM and headlined How I Learned into headline peak with a known ABM, you'd know they probably want you to headline Missile Envy. But sometimes
Yes.
these newer players don't think of those things, and that's a thing that happens. So good on Jr. for taking the gamble, and it really paid off for him.
So you're just dumping Purge into West Germany here,
I
right?
think that's fine. I don't see any better use of my ops.
Yeah. I don't either. And JR does know his hand, right? Like,
Yep. Also, ABM clearly his only 4-op.
yeah. And I cannot mentally think about what threes he might have. I
Yeah.
think we're just going to see Kennedy
Kennedy,
here.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
Norad, he's going to fight for it. He's
Okay,
going to fight
and
for it.
yeah, Jr. loves to see this. He wants to keep this going as long as possible. Keep that Kennedy. Oh, okay, gonna go China and cultural.
Don't mind that. They might want to hold Junta for a headline.
Yeah,
I kind of like that. But if you're going to hold Junta for a headline, you're going to run low on ops pretty quick here to keep this up.
yeah. I'm fine putting this 3-ops into West Germany here. Yeah, just keep this fight going because
But
Chris
I
eventually
mean,
has to play Kennedy.
that, but you're out of ops now,
Yeah.
right? Or you're leaving Chris with China, which
No, I wouldn't
I
do
don't
that.
know if I would do that. I
But then, are
don't
you gonna
think
if
I would do.
assuming we see Kennedy here? Are you playing Junta for ops into? Okay, well,
Oh,
wow, we're gonna keep
CMC.
going with CMC.
You have to give up on it. I think you just play cultural. You event cultural. I don't think
You're
it
certainly not
makes sense.
self-trapping. So yeah, I think you trigger cultural here, and then Chris will respond by playing Kennedy. The spacing is fine too.
It seems fine also. Are you? Yeah, I'm holding Junta CRG here.
Yeah, that's
Junta's a
fine.
very nice headline to take central control. If I'm Chris, if I have any ops right now, I'm throwing them into West Germany.
Yeah, but man, you don't want a
Or
Kennedy on
or
AR6 is the issue.
yeah, or yeah, maybe you can't
Yeah, I think
Kennedy
you
here. Yeah,
Kennedy now.
there he
This
is.
is the right play. You're gonna get rid of South America and gunman too.
Oh, I love it. Oh, oh
JR was surprised by
boy.
that. So we saw a gunman. Yeah, we saw that was a redraw, right? I was like, yeah,
That was a redraw.
yeah,
That was a
wow.
redraw.
That's a big Kennedy even for only 2 cards. Okay, JR up 2 VPs heading into late war. War games, honestly, a possibility for both players.
Yeah, this can go either way.
Gunman gone, I
Um,
think. Yeah, and I'm sure Chris wanted the 3 VPs,
right,
but the 3 ops in West Germany is more valuable. And I think you're going to play cultural for the event here.
definitely.
Yeah, you got to take back China.
Yeah. And now Chris will probably just shore up West Germany.
Yeah, I think you take West
That was
Germany
a
back.
silly. That's what we call a silly turn.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say Silly Willy for a second, but obviously he didn't get evented.
Oh yeah, with when he's not evented, you can't make the joke.
Yeah.
You could talk about it until we see him. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty.
So CRG's still in JR's hand, not spaceable and quite annoying on this board. Really, really annoying on this board. So we'll see if JR draws something worse and he's able to continue to hold CRGs. Obviously, all the bad US2s, voice grain, puppets, all back in the deck.
Oh, puppets is
Puppets is
in
not back in
his
the deck,
hand.
like I was saying. That's fine. Okay, so West Germany
Okay,
back safely in Chris's hands. And this is anybody's game heading into late war. When does Asia come back? Oh boy. We got CIA.
Oh, that's not enjoyable. That's not
Now you
enjoyable.
do have headline
You have
peak,
headline
and
peak.
you do have China.
I I might give up CIA in the headline if I can.
Yeah, I would give up CIA in the headline, I think.
Don't be one grain sailor terrorism away from having to play China and then hold it again. 5-year plan, right? Like all
Yeah,
the everything to cut your hands in the deck. Don't
yeah. I'm giving CIA here. This is not if you're able to get rid of CIA, this is not a terrible hand to have to show. You
let's
have
fight
plenty of
back.
ops. Now,
Yeah.
shuttle is a big problem for JR. That's a card you really
Shuttle
want to
goes to
play.
space.
Yes, so yes, shuttle's going to space. You're going to have to hold CRGs again. Chernobyl AR-7 is fine. OPEC's probably an event here in the late war. Portuguese, honestly,
I
might
would
be
take 3.
is not a terrible event either. Okay,
Oh,
CIA.
you have to
Not
headline
even thinking
CIA.
about it.
Oh my
Okay, no, hold on,
God,
no, no,
you
no, no, no,
are.
hold on, no, 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 no. You don't want
Oh,
terror
he's
to
gonna
hit
do
Brushwood.
that
You want to give terror a chance to hit CIA.
there,
Now you're giving
and now you
CIA
give
AR
up
well.
CIA.
Okay, I don't mind that. I don't
Okay,
mind that. You want to give terror a
I
chance to
don't
hit
mind that
CIA.
either. Yes, I 100%.
JR displeased that his brush missed.
This Angola coup is flips a region a bit, and that's a
I mean,
big
he's already
flip, right?
down three
Like you can,
battlegrounds to two in Africa.
but South Africa did have pressure on it. This alleviates a lot of pressure in Africa.
Yep. But Angola and Zaire, neither of them overprotected. Um, this is
Yeah, I mean, you probably, depending on the role, you either event Portuguese or you use Portuguese to overprotect Zaire.
yep. Okay,
So
rolls a
that was
2 on
creepy.
Zaire and he gets it back. Okay, so not a net of nothing. I expect now. We just saw Portuguese, so I wonder if we'll see a Zaire flip here. Can't imagine we're going to see an
Why not?
Angola flip. Oh, I guess you could see a 4 up.
If you have if you have a 4 up, you have to flip Angola here.
If Zaire gets flipped, you could see realigns.
I mean, I think if Zaire gets flipped, you need to start realigning South Africa, but you also have to overprotect Angola first.
Yeah. Well, the other thing I was going to say is,
Ooh.
or you could just coup Cameroon for Dom and say, you know what, this 3 battlegrounds is enough. I'm just going to fight you on country count. Now I think you've got to
I
immediately
don't know
overprotect
if I
Angola
would
and
do
Zaire,
that.
right? No, no, no. I don't like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, no, no, no. It's not an event.
It's not an event now. It's not going to change Dom. I think you've got
It's
to
not an event.
overprotect Angola and Zaire. Lock down your 2 battlegrounds.
Why are you picking up Junta? What are you doing? Are you drunk? I would like to have a drink, but here we are. We're all sober. I
I don't
don't
like this.
know.
You know, opponent knows your whole hand, knows that it includes CRG. If he has Africa, you are getting dominated. Just let's just not get controlled. Oh, and he rolls a 1.
Well, CRG could be no CRG. Oh shit!
You cannot hold CRG unless you play China.
Yeah, you have to give up CRG. Oh, you need to have overprotected those
Yeah,
battlegrounds like
we could
yesterday.
get controlled here, and now Portuguese is gone. So Angola very flippable. If I'm Chris,
And you
and
know
I
the
have any kind of
threes.
a decent hand, I'm not just going to score Africa for my Dom here. I'm going to push harder.
I mean, if you have a 3 flipping Angola, you either get OPEC, you save 3 VP. That's amazing. Chernobyl, unplayable, right?
Yep. Yeah. You're not.
Or
Nobody's playing
shuttle
Chernobyl
gives you a
AR3.
Dom if middle. All 3 of those 3 ups are actually real bad news.
Yes, and also it also protects South Africa. Yeah, this should be an Angola flip if Chris has any kind of a hand.
Which again, we don't necessarily know what he does or does not, but get that out of here, JR. We're trying to watch Twilight struggle. Give the people what they want.
Aldrich to space?
1486 played.
Okay.
Uh,
Aldrich to space on AR2. Okay, now JR is going to go to space and give Chris another chance to flip these countries.
Wants to overprotect him.
What are you going
Are
to
you just
overprotect
overprotecting
with?
Junta?
Yeah, I guess you could play Junta for ops. Jeez, because you want. I mean, you really want you need the VPs of OPEC for war games.
Yeah.
Now that you hit that roll.
Now that you hit that roll, got it too fast.
Okay, so Chris clearly does not have Africa scoring. Just playing Africa, there was no rush to space there. Why is he spacing? So spacing Aldrich says he has something he wants to hold to next turn. Which, VOA, war games. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to set up realigns. Is the Costa Rica... This would actually matter. This would matter. Nope, JR misses. Yep, take your OPEC points. And now JR knows if he gets realigned out, he can Junta back in. Now, if I were Chris, I would wait till Junta gets played before I try my realigns.
Would you prefer, I mean, with the VP track where it is, without knowing what scorings are going to come, would you prefer to be JR here or? Oh,
that's
why you didn't go for.
Yeah,
that's huge.
That's very large. Okay, that is why Chris did not bother flipping Angola.
Yeah.
Because that is now unspaceable for him as well. Although I would have been fine using Aldrich to discard that.
So you have had something worse?
Again, I think we can assume Chris has something that he really wants to hold. And that's why he's behaving like he is.
BOA maybe?
He just put a third in Mexico. I wonder if we're seeing libs.
But BO.
Oh boy, we're going to use Chernobyl on AR5? No, I don't like that. Maybe he's just worried about Junta. Okay, Africa. Okay, he cleans him out, and okay. So cleans him out of South Africa, but now a 3-op just flips over Zaire, and it's not... This, I assume, is Africa, and then Zaire is just going to get flipped. Even if you just have a 2-op, you just poke and then play another 2-op in there.
And then wait till CRG comes.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Now JR can't repair CRG.
Literally just beat for CRG.
So JR could just play. He could play China, but then
I'm not playing China. I don't know.
I might play China here. You cannot. I mean, you want to get. If Zaire doesn't get flipped here and doesn't get Chernobyl, I think you need to lock up the entire southern half of Africa. You could play Junta for ops to do it, but CRG is really bad.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Having the China card going into turn 10, there's a lot of value in that.
Yeah. Now this is only turn 8, so we do have 2 more turns to go.
Maybe the argument is maybe JR is looking for a war games win, in which case the China play makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm not giving up on this board right now playing JR though. I'm not saying being up 8 BP, I think you're far away from the point of having to say it's China or it's war games or bust.
Yep. Chernobyl goes to Africa, no surprise. And there's the 3-op that I'm surprised we didn't see in Zaire earlier on.
There we go.
Okay,
And,
so you just
the thing
realigned
that
South Africa.
overprotected.
Congratulations, but you're still dominated.
Yeah, and nothing get overprotected now.
Honestly, with Chris having done that, it makes CRG a little bit more palatable, right? Like,
Yep. So
so
CRG is
JR
going
is
to
in the
overprotect
chat,
Zaire.
so
You'll see one in South Africa, probably one in Thailand as well.
There is in the chat. Do you think that means this is over? No, wait, we're watching it live. Why
We're
would it be
watching
over?
it live, Max.
Oh my god.
Come on,
Oh my
Max.
god. So it's been a week. It's only Tuesday.
So what are you doing with this if you're Chris? It's Zaire, South Africa, Thailand, and then random one stab, maybe Saharan?
I'm breaking Botswana. I'm going to South Africa. I'm overprotecting Zaire, and I'm putting one in Angola. Just
Oh, you're going
Down
all
the
Africa, no
entire area.
Thailand. I like Thailand because, IP wars around and such, but
Yeah, you don't have China. I don't know.
yeah.
Like, is Thailand really important here? It could become important, don't get me wrong. I agree with that statement.
What?
It's just not
I don't know.
important at the
What?
moment. It's exactly what you said, right?
No, JR put his 2 ops into Pakistan.
That doesn't make sense.
So Chris did what I thought he would. Went one South Africa, one
Sorry,
Angola, one
I
Zaire,
missed-
one
I missed
Thailand.
the
That's
JR
exactly
part.
what I would have done. JR used his 2 ops. I would have used it to take South Africa. JR poked Pakistan to threaten a China flip.
That seems not great. Unless he's assuming that he doesn't have one free playable off.
Okay, well, JR is going to get 2 more VPs.
And it's not an event now, at least.
Yeah. Okay, and now Zaire is triple overprotected now. I don't understand.
That does make who's on it a bit more difficult.
Yeah, it's an important country. JR needs a big role in Colombia, and he gets it. Okay, so we thought this was going to be a bad turn for JR, and yeah, Africa looks bad, but other than that, JR came out okay, and he got a bunch of VPs for his trouble. He's up 11 VPs. So, War Games is obviously the big question here. 3 unscored dominations on the board for Chris. And JR's only good region at this point is scored. Oh, well, Central America's still good, but he doesn't have domination. So the question is, obviously, does JR get War Games? And then number 2, if we do go to final, which of these scorings come before we get there?
If Asia and Europe come out before we get to final, this is a series.
Yep. And obviously JR has IP War in his pocket. That could come back. Brush War could come back. Reformers there to make noise in Europe, and my good friend Chuck. There's VOA. Okay.
I still don't think Thailand was super
2
important,
Mexico, 1 Brazil, and then 1 Thailand. And there's Asia and Middle East. So, and nothing with, okay, so decall JR should do some math here. I mean, decall is the headline regardless. But can JR contest? JR is down 3. He's down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 countries to 3. Decall's not going to do anything. Oh, is that just an event? You just event that coup Poland, cut his hand size?
Kill the coup?
Or do you just coup Angola?
I might just flip Brazil.
You could flip Brazil or flip Thailand. No, now decall is coming. You're not gonna do that.
I think I would just flip Brazil, if I'm being honest.
You're gonna let JR have a coup in Zaire?
I think so. I don't want to be controlled. I don't know. Maybe this is one of those where like there's no good options.
Oh, he coups Brazil and he gets it. That's not
That's
gonna,
a bold
so
play.
that's not gonna do it.
That's a
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries to 4. So okay, you take Indonesia.
that was a ballsy play by Chris. I like it.
Yeah, worked out well for him.
I do not have the ball to do
The, JR is not stopping this domination.
it. And the more ops that you put into Asia, the more obvious it is that. Yeah, JR. So yeah, I like that. You look at it, you say it's never going to happen anyway, but don't even bother. Don't waste ops.
Yeah, I'm fine with this. Okay, so now JR is going to take.
So Asia gets Chris under war games.
Yep. I think we need to take Colombia here, right? Colombia and South Africa. I don't think we can let Chris go one Colombia poke Venezuela, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
I mean, you do have Iran Contra in hand, so you could just.
But I mean, Brazil having Uruguay, like basically Venezuela is going to be under pressure for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Okay,
So
taking
the question will become who has less problems in their hand for coup wars.
Okay. So Asia's going to be 6 for Chris. Middle East should be even. We've seen I war has come and gone.
AWACS, but that's repairable.
What was so? Chris used VOA. I guess Chris spaced Aldrich because he wanted to hold VOA, and then he went ahead and used it.
But why not? Oh, because of the junta play, he had no choice.
Yeah.
To force his hand. You have a lot of scorings, dude. You need to start dealing with that.
Yeah, so JR's got 5 ARs left. 2 of them are going to be scorings. He's certainly going to space North Sea, right? And then you've got a coup with Iran Contra. And then you've got 1 op to play with otherwise.
Not that much you can do.
Nope. This will be a coup in Africa. Yep, okay. 2 is good enough.
Just enough. You don't need much more. You don't need more.
Yep, and so this will be JR needs to get his mill ops. Yep, and that's fine. Okay. JR with 1 op to play over 4 ARs. I mean, you could give North Sea here, I guess. But I don't know how excited I am about that.
That's a hard one.
Yep. And if Chris has it, he has it. You got to start dumping scorings.
If Chris has it, that brings this basically right down to even on the VP track.
Yep, because I think you're just going to play it here if you're Chris. Yeah, not quite good enough to be an event. Yeah, you got to dump the score. You got to dump the scoring or space. Yep, and space. JR in some trouble.
Well, Romanians now could hard to fight back in Central.
Yep, especially
if
because you're
Chris
probably
can
about to get
take
Nicaragua cooed right here.
Oh,
Okay. War Games is back on the table.
which is important, and JR will now be in range for VP for space.
Yep. So Europe is 5, Africa is 4. So if JR hits, if Chris scores one of those regions and JR, oh, okay, this could be a big roll. Oh, and he misses. Okay. This should be a coup in Africa. So JR up 7 VPs, but he's down. He's dominated in Europe and Asia and has no DOMs of his own. So I think certainly, I wouldn't say it's lost in final, but this board certainly favors Chris in final, doesn't it, Max? Max, I can't hear you. But yeah, only 2 regions unscored. Both of them favor Chris. Still can't hear you, Max. Oh, and there's Willie. So another VP for JR. And here we go into turn 10. JR gets Africa. And he gets blockade. JR hoping that maybe that flips the game on its head in AR7 here. But okay, JR does not get War Games. There's Defectors. Hits Libs. And JR going to try a big coup here in Zaire would be my play. Needs a 3. Oh, and he gets a 2! Okay, does Chris have a 4-op to flip Zaire over? That could be the game. And that overprotect, putting a 4th in Zaire when it was already overprotected, that could be the game. And he does have the guilt-free 4. Oh my goodness. And now JR going to have to score Africa, I believe, right here so he's not dominated. Yep. No rush to space. No. There's no need to coup Cameroon. Just score. Max, I think I lost you. But anyway, I'm talking to myself now. Okay. I think you just score Africa and move on. It's only -1. And now we're going to see if Chris has Europe, which could decide this one. Did Europe come out? Yep. Yes, JR. And it did. And it did. And JR now up just 2. Okay, gets a domination back on the board, but still way behind in Asia. Asia is 6 for Chris. Europe is 5. That's 11. Africa is another 1, so that's 12 for Chris. Middle East is even. South America right now is 2 for JR. He's going to need to get that domination. He's going to need to hang on to Central America domination, and he's going to need to hit with his blockade. Star Wars not going to do anything. I assume we'll see a coup in Central. Nope, just a coup in Africa. And that flips Dom back over. Special is harmless. Max says his laptop died. This has to be a coup in Africa. Okay, JR stops the domination in Africa. Max, you there?
I'm back.
Okay, so
Yeah.
JR headline Libs into Defectors. Coup Zaire with We Will Bury You. Needed a 3, rolled a 2. Chris then flipped it with Nuclear Test Ban. JR had to score Africa for -1. -1, and then Chris had Europe, so that's where we are now, and JR's in big trouble. He needs this blockade to flip West Germany.
Does that flip? Yeah. Chris needs to reset Africa Dom.
Yes. And Chris did just reset Africa Dom, and JR cooed. to stop it. De Gaulle going to space for potentially one VP.
And not get that one VP. Cannot get that one VP. I think Blockade is going to catch Chris with his pants down around his ankles. And I think JR thinks so also.
Yep. So JR wants to force Chris to use ops. And JR now hoping that taking Greece will mean it flips. Taking Greece would mean that Blockade would actually give him Dom.
Which would win him the game.
Yes, for sure.
Regardless of what else he can do AR7. I like that play.
You do. I don't mind taking both, but if you take Peru and it can just be neutered by Colombia, that's fine. Okay, so now Colombia gets cooed, though. Colombia's going to get cooed, and you are still even.
If you lose a coup war here, and then it's like a bad time realigning, you're also in trouble, though.
Yeah. Now,
so
are you going to space AWACS to try and pick up 4 VP? It's free on the board.
You don't have the ARs to do it.
Yeah, you just have 2 ARs left.
And Blockade is obvious, right? Like.
Yep. And you're going to hope Chris isn't thinking about it.
Or that whatever. Oh,
okay, that's annoying because you
Chris
cannot coup. You can't coup with that.
Chris has a bad hand.
Yeah.
He's giving you a Pershing. That's going to win it for JR.
Now he may
Down
also
to
have
the wire.
bad. He may also just have another bad 3. Yeah, maybe he's got sock govs or something. But I think I'd give up sock govs before Pershing.
No, sock govs is gone.
Oh, that's right.
But even if he has a bad 3 to discard to Blockade, I just think this is an indication that his hand is too weak to win the game.
Oh boy.
That's my personal opinion because he needs to stop.
Let's do the math here. Central is 4 for JR. South America is 5, so that's 9 for JR plus the 3 he already has is 12. Europe is, let's assume Blockade. Let's assume Chris can discard a Blockade. Europe's 5. Asia is 6. Africa is 1. That's 12. That puts JR slightly ahead still. So yeah, you're right, Max. Chris needs to have something here. He needs to be able to he needs to discard a Blockade and on top of that have a meaningful AR7 play like poking Cuba in order to win. So he's got to have
poke Cuba, take Morocco, Ivory Coast to reestablish Dom. But that also means he needs to block. Do you think he has to block South? Maybe he just reestablishes Europe Dom here.
Yeah, no, I think he's just going to I think you just fix West Germany and UK here.
Okay, so say he can discard to Blockade and you have a 4 left. You go Cuba, Morocco, or Cuba, Tunisia. That puts Africa
just poke South Africa.
Plus.
Just poke South Africa. Cuba pokes
an
out
extra VP. Yeah, that's an extra VP. So that makes Central even.
Yeah, Central's even. Now Africa's plus
4. 5.
Plus 5, yes.
5.
Yeah, that would be
11.
enough.
If you have Europe Dom, that's
Yeah, so I think that's it. Chris needs a card to discard to Blockade and a meaningful AR7 play. And I don't know what 4 ops are around. Yep, this is right.
Establishes Dom. Where did that last one go? Somewhere in Africa?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Okay.
China card there.
Gonna go China to stop Europe Dom. So it's a 4-op play that can be answered with a 2. But, oh man.
But if Blockade, so basically JR is gambling this game on Blockade hitting.
Yeah. Now what about, no, that wouldn't have worked. Oh boy. He has a 4. Okay.
Oh,
And he gets the Dom in Africa. Okay, here it is. This is a 10
I mean, he
point
just
swing
needs a
in Europe.
3.
This is a 10
He
point swing
just
in
needs a
Europe if he
3.
can't discard to it. Yeah, now I think he just needs the 3. This is
With
it.
Africa Dom established, he could do Colombia or break Cuba, and that's it. Wow. Chris, best sub 1500 player I've ever seen.
Oh, man. Here it is. Oh, and he had Muslim.
Has it. He has it.
Just a
Oh,
1-up, though.
oh,
Just a
oh.
1-up.
He's
And
the
it's a
coup to hit.
coup. He missed the
He
roll.
misses. He needs to go to Colombia.
Oh,
it's still enough.
and Chris
The Dom-
takes it. Chris takes it by 5. Wow.
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 Wow. Wow.
What a
That's-
finish. Saved UN Muslim for AR7. Oh my goodness. What a finish.
Wow. Here, why don't we at least stop watching so we're not looking at his stream?
Yeah.
There we
I changed to the ending
Oh,
screen.
there we go. There we go.
What a thriller, folks. And yeah, clearly if he doesn't have a card to discard, JR has that game. That's a 10-point swing that's a 10-point swing in Europe. Now his final 1-up play in Nicaragua didn't do anything because he rolled a 2. That play should have gone to Colombia, where 2 would have been enough. It would have been an anything but a 1 coup instead of an anything but a 1 or 2. But it didn't matter. His 1-up was enough. JR, did you just join us?
Sure did.
Sure did.
JR.
Yo,
wow.
you just lost to the best. You just lost to the best sub 1500 player in ITSL.
You ever just wish you hit one of a Korean War or an IP war or a brush war that were all 50-50?
Oh, JR.
Any of those I win easily, and it's not close.
I don't need to know about AI war. I think we both think you just fucked up the Korean War play. Like that was just a bad decision of how you handled that, if I'm being honest.
Would you have? So you would have put more ops in first. I had I felt like I had no ops T2 or whatever that was.
We were talking about giving containment in AR early. We both think you should have done that.
Maybe.
Yeah, or
I should've just
you
won the
could have
Korean
also
War.
played Fidel for ops. I know you wanted the event or to hold it, which I get that. I understand the play because obviously if you hit the war, you look like a genius. You save the ops, you get your mill ops, you pick up 4 VPs. But you lost the war and you didn't have the ops to fight it. It was it was just rough.
Yeah,
I mean,
rough game.
Yeah, and I mean, like we're splitting hairs here and there, right, on like small decisions.
If I also roll a 3 with that, we will bury you.
Yeah,
then I
you
think
said
I
that
win.
needs a 3 and you got a 2. If you roll a 3 there, you win easily. You probably score a dom. Yeah, you had with no problem.
Or if he just didn't have so many damn ops, he just had like so many 4s rolling out.
Yep.
South Africa not going away to Kennedy AR7, never scoring.
I didn't do the full math. Did I if that blockade hits, how close
You
am
win.
I to having it?
No, you've won.
Yeah, that would have been a 10 VP swing for you. And so
It was a clean win.
Yeah, he would have, and then obviously assuming he would have only had 2 ops to respond, there was no way he was going to be able to pick up 5 VPs with 2 ops.
Well, I think he could have blocked Europe still, but I guess that's 4.
No.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think he would have been 1 Canada away from stopping it.
Yeah,
so he could have stopped Europe, but I think
2 in Canada to stop it, which would have stopped him, but that would have gotten him 4 VPs. So Europe instead of being Europe being +5 for him, it would have been +1 for you. So still a 6 VP swing.
Yeah.
And he won by 5. And his last AR play did nothing. So yeah, that you would have won by 1 in that case.
Yeah,
Unless
brutal.
he cooed Colombia.
Now Colombia coup only gets him 3. Going into Canada to fill Canada would have stopped Dom, would have gotten him 4.
5-5.
Yeah, he would have to block
Yeah.
Europe for.
Yeah, yes. Assuming he had a 2-op to respond to Canada was the play that
Right,
gets him
which-
4 VPs. If he has a 1-op to respond, cooing Colombia, rolling anything but a 1 gets him 3 VPs.
1.
Yeah,
True.
I was feeling okay. He played so many ops turn 10. I was like, okay, he's played
It's
4
got
3
it's got to
ops and a
stop
4
at some
something.
point, right?
It does not have to stop at some point. It turns out.
Oh,
Well, thanks for streaming, guys.
that's rough. That was a very close game. As I said, you played probably the best sub 1500 player in ITSL this season.
Dude, the
so
Gentry.
who's no longer
The
sub 1500.
Both these Gentry guys, because Browning was the guy who Justin beat by what, 2 in final scoring? That's this guy's brother.
Yep. I beat him by his timer ran out. But if it hadn't run out,
Oh,
I
that's
beat him
right.
by
Oh
2 in the
yeah,
final.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
His
his play deck is Browning sucks.
Yeah. I asked him, I was like, are you
Throwing
I assume
shade.
you're related to Browning?
Throwing
Oh yeah.
shade.
Time to look at this sweet turn 10. If he didn't have defectors too and this lib theology had hit, that could have done something. Could have jammed in Mexico or something. All right, guys, I'm out of here.
All right, JR. Sorry
Yeah,
for the tough loss.
no need to
Thank you,
relive
Jared.
it.
Max, thank you for joining.
Later.
JR, thanks for offering the game to stream. But we will say goodbye for now. Max, any final thoughts on this one?
I wish we got to see the Willie in action.
We did. You missed it.
Oh, I missed it. I was
You
making
missed
dinner.
it late
Oh,
in
no.
turn 9.
Oh,
Chris had to give the
oh
Willie.
my god! It was. Oh, that was when my laptop died. Oh my god! So, wow, I would have never even known. That's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yep, terrible. So anyway, you
Oh,
can blame your
God.
laptop for that, but we did see it. You just missed it. Anyway,
Brutal.
thanks everybody for watching. Appreciate you tuning in at the late hour. I know my European audience is asleep, but I think we had some good Western Hemisphere viewership tonight. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I'm not sure when my next game will be. Probably sometime next week. But until next time, from Max Goldman, this is Justin Abrams saying so long for just a while.